Wow, okay. Apparently I got a little long-winded there, and result being I had to split the video into two videos, because when you're a beginner, you can't do more than 15 minutes on YouTube, as I understand it, and I went quite a bit over that. So here is part two of the Nerd Tag video. Enjoy. Number 7. What is your dream career choice? That's that's tough. I would I would say writer. Um, I enjoy, like I said, I really enjoy writing, creative writing, storytelling. I I wrote some episodes, some scripts for a web series, Machinima, that a couple of my friends and I were working on. Unfortunately, it never really went anywhere. It kind of petered out partway through production, so it never got done. But I did some script writing there, and I have a novel that's finished. I finished it. Been working on it for like 13 years, something like that. I finished it recently, and I really need to get on finding a publisher. Um, Sort of sci-fi fantasy stuff, and I've started writing the second book, and I've got it all up in my head, and I've got most of the third book. It's going to be a 3-book series. I've got most of the third book, and at this point, I'm kind of just writing it for myself, because I've got these characters and the story in my head, and I want to get it out, get it down on paper. I hope to get it published someday. Don't know if I will, but yeah, I'd like to make a career out of it. I think I could be a writer for a living. And aside from that, if I couldn't do that, but I still got to pick my dream job, I want to say movie critic, just because I love watching movies so much. I would love to do that for a living, but I would be a horrible movie critic because I'm way too easy. I'm way too easy on stuff. I there are a lot of movies that most people are like, "Wow, I wish I hadn't paid money for that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? It wasn't that bad. It's pretty good. I liked it." And yeah, I'd be a terrible movie critic, but I would love doing it. Get paid to watch movies and tell people what you thought about it. That's a dream. I'd do that. Let's see. Number 8, favorite video game. I don't even have to think about this. Unless the question is meant to be like current, like what video game that's like current and popular now. But I'm going of all time here, and hands down, GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. I've spent more time playing that video game in my lifetime than any other video game, and I have no regrets about that. I don't think there's anything wrong or weird about that. I think it makes perfect sense because it's just unendingly entertaining, especially when you're doing 4-player with your friends at 2 in the morning, just demolishing each other. It's the best time I've ever had playing any video game. So, yep, easy enough. GoldenEye for N64. And I don't have that anymore. I do have the new version for Wii with like Daniel Craig doing the voice. I don't like it as much. I don't care how much they improve the graphics. It's not as good a game, but it's still pretty fun. I still enjoy it. But I need to get me an N64 with GoldenEye. um, but yeah, easy enough. Next question. Number 9. What is the nerdiest thing about you? That is tough because I mean I don't think I can. I'd have to pick apart my personality. Nerdy is who I am. There's I can't separate any one thing from another. Uh, I guess my T-shirt collection would probably be it. Just based on sheer size, but and that I tend to focus on that as far as Facebook and the YouTube channel. I suppose that's the nerdiest thing about me, but really everything I do is nerdy. It's really hard to single out something. Nerdiest movie in your collection. I went over this list earlier, and I actually went and searched through my shelves, and I didn't really know what to make of that question. Like, that's a tough one to even like grasp what that means. Like, nerdiest movie, but I think I got what they mean, and it's got to be Plan 9 from Outer Space in color. Because, and I say that because it's a horrible, horrible movie. It's been ranked by every critic alive as one of the worst movies ever made, if not the worst movie ever made. And and I think it's fairly nerdy to watch and own it because of that, because it's so bad, because it's entertaining in its horribleness, and on top of that, that it actually has the commentary track by Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater, and you've got a perfect nerdy movie experience. Because, I mean, you got this horrible, horrible old sci-fi movie, and you get to watch it be picked apart by the best. So, yeah, that's got to be my answer for that one. The next question was PlayStation. Question 11: PlayStation, Xbox, or Wii? I don't have an Xbox right now. I used to. I had a 360 for a while. I don't anymore. But I do. I have a Wii and a PlayStation 3. The Wii, I wouldn't even put in the running. Honestly, I do like it. I've got some cool games I like playing on it. I like that I can play my old GameCube games on it. But it doesn't really stack up with the other two. And but at the moment, I have to go with PS3 just because I don't have an Xbox. And honestly, when I did, I used the PS3 more. To be completely honest, because I'm a Netflix junkie, and with PS3, you get to use Netflix for free, whereas on Xbox, you gotta freaking pay for Xbox Gold to watch Netflix, and that's bull crap. I'm sorry, but that's crap. So anyway, and that's not the only reason, but right now I would go with PS3 anyway, just because I just finally started playing DC Universe Online, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. And so yeah, right now, as it's the only one of the two big ones that I have, and it's better than the Wii, I'm going with PS3. Let's see. Number 12. What is the longest word you know? I wrote one down here because it's one I've known for a while, but I wanted to make sure I say it right. And it's sesquipedalian. And strangely enough, sesquipedalian is someone who likes to use big words. So I thought that was funny. Number 13. As a kid, what fictional character did you fantasize about? That's kind of a weird question. I don't know if that means like fantasize about, or just like, like I wanted to be that person. Because if it's the first one, I have to say Mary Jane Watson. But if it's the second one, read a lot of Spider-Man growing up, or Rogue, maybe Rogue. But as far as like wanted to be or wanted to like hang out with, it would have to be a toss-up between, as I said before, Gambit being my favorite X-Man, favorite comic book character at the time. I thought it would be awesome to either be or to hang out with Gambit, go on adventures with him, or, and this one still holds true till to today, Roland Deschain, the lead character from the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. Although I don't know that I would either want to be with him or be him or hang out with him, because being him would be a very, very rough life. He does not have an easy go of it. And I don't know, honestly, that I would want to hang out with him either, because it doesn't end well for people that hang out with him. It's a rough road to travel down with that man. But he's just so awesome. He's so cool, and he's my favorite character in literature. So yeah, either Gambit or Roland Deschain. Let's see. Number 14, Jocks, friend or foe. See, I never, even being a nerd, growing up a nerd, getting much more nerdy as I grew up, I didn't really have a problem with jocks per se. Like, I got picked on a lot at school, but I don't remember that it had anything to do with them being jocks. It was just dicks. I have a problem with dicks. But jocks, I don't think ever really entered into it. I think they were just people, and maybe I heard nerd tossed around once or twice, but I mean, it was never really like a malicious thing. They never like picked on me or anything, so it's an odd question. I would say indifferent or friend, I guess. Not really foe. Number 15. Old school bit games or 3D graphics. It depends on the game. It really does. I mean, like, the stuff they do with games these days is amazing. The Arkham games, I love. Start to finish, they were all good. And but and stuff like that. There are a lot of really good games, but I think it has a lot to do with content too, because there are some of the old 8-bit games that content-wise beat some of the 3D graphic games that they have now, just because it doesn't matter what your animation platform is. If the game sucks, the game sucks. And if the game is awesome, the game is awesome. So I'm really non-committal in this video game, or in this video, I've noticed. I'm kind of a fence sitter today. But I mean, as far as, the stuff, the advances that they've made, there's a lot to be said for the new games, with the awesome animation and motion capture and all that stuff. But my wife and I actually last night were playing DuckTales Remastered for PS3, because we saw it for like $15 at Walmart, and I was like, I remember playing that game on the original Nintendo or the Super Nintendo, whichever one it was for, and I love that game. And she's like, me too. So we picked it up, and it was just as much fun, remastered with new graphics and stuff. But I mean, it's basically the exact same game. So that I think makes a pretty good argument for what I was saying about content, because you can take the exact same game content, spruce up the graphics, and it's just as awesome either way. So let's see, what's the next one? Number 16, nerdiest pickup line. I can't say I've ever used a pickup line in my life. But I know some. I've seen some online, like memes and stuff. I mean, nerdy wise, I know a couple good Doctor Who ones. There's Are you a weeping angel? Because I can't take my eyes off of you. And there's a Star Trek one. You must be a phaser set for stunning. And that was really cheesy. I'm sorry. And what was it? There's a Lord of the Rings one I read the other day. It was were you forged by Sauron? Because you are precious, girl. But they're all horrible. It doesn't really matter, but all quite nerdy, so they fit. Number 17. Do you have a random useless talent? Useless talent. I seem to have a knack for remembering stuff that doesn't matter. Lines from movies, actors who are in movies, who directed them. It's usually movie based or comic book based. It's all nerdy. I can remember all kinds of crap no one would ever need to know unless you were a contestant on Beat the Geeks, which I miss that show. I wish I had gotten a chance to go on and play. But yeah, okay, I just thought of this. I'm gonna try it, and I'm wearing my contacts right now, so hopefully I don't pop out one of my contacts, but I can do this. I can turn my eyelids inside out. I used to do it all the time as a kid. Freak out my sister, freak out my mom. Let me see, I can do it one more time. They pop down real fast that time. They don't stay very well anymore because I don't do it very often. But yeah, it's disgusting and horrible, but there it is. Okay, so number 18, greatest nerd accomplishment. I don't know. I mean, I probably shouldn't, but I happen to consider my t-shirt collection kind of an accomplishment. But I would have to say that for me personally, my greatest like nerd out moment that I was so excited about would be this past year at Pensacon when I got to meet Frank Conniff and Trace Ballou, who played Dr. Forrester in TV's Frank on Mystery Science Theater. They were there, and I got my picture taken with them, and it looked like this. And I just spent the rest of the day just nerding out. Oh my god, I met Frank and Dr. Forrester. And so, I mean, that was awesome. I also got to meet Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, at the same convention, but I didn't get a picture with him. But yeah, so that was awesome. There's also the time I met Tom Welling, but that was more of a dark day. I'll have to tell that story sometime. Not today. Anyway, number 19, this is the last one. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I decided this a long time ago, actually, a few years back. And it especially holds true for me now. Living in Florida with all of my family and most of my friends, being back up north in Wyoming and South Dakota, my dream superpower, if I could have it, would be teleportation, because I could see my family, my sister, my brothers, my nephews, my old friends anytime I wanted with a thought, and that to me means more than any amount of super strength or being able to fly, seeing as I'm kind of scared of heights. And you know, any of those other superpowers. I don't want to be able to read people's minds. I don't want to know what's in there. Forget that. And my sister mentioned in her video telekinesis, saying that, you know, that's her lazy side. that would want that. And same here. I that's a bad idea. I would just be so lazy. I would never get up and do anything if I had telekinesis. So that seems like an awesome power, but it's really kind of a curse when you think about it. You'd have to have amazing discipline. So yeah, teleportation, the gift of being able to see the people I love and be with the people I love anytime I wanted. That's all I could ever ask for. Just to not have to plan a road trip. Just not have to pack a bag. Just be like, hey, honey, I'm gonna go to my parents' house real quick, hang out with them for a couple hours. Okay, guys, I'm going home. Back home. You can't beat that, really. I promise I would not use it to teleport into bank vaults and become rich. But anyway, that's the final question. That is my nerd tag video. Feel free to, if you like this, if you thought it was cool, if you got some of your own answers you'd like to get out there, post a response video, put your responses down in the comments if you'd like. I'd like to know your answers. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this, and don't forget to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, share this with people you think would like it, find it interesting, and again, just thanks for joining me. I love your faces, and I'll see you later.